friends, and welcome for another little yoga session. I'm so glad that you've taken the time to join me today and just tend to your inner fire, your inner self, send some love back your way after a time of giving, after the holidays where we really do expel a lot of energy just in gift giving, in taking time for our family. And now is the time to regenerate that energy. And we can do that easily by just coming to our mat, by coming to our meditation, and allowing everything else to fall away. So just beginning to come onto your mat, get yourself nice and comfy and settled in a comfortable seat. We'll just begin here and chant Om together to open up our practice, and then we'll move to our backs for some lower body unwinding. Once you arrive on your mat in your comfortable seat, begin to close the eyes, shutter out everything around you if there is any noise, you're not able to be in a quiet space. Just begin to think of those noises as happening really far away from you. Allow them to recede away from your energy. And if you're holding any conscious tension in the body, or subconscious tension, just go ahead and let go of that now. Maybe you're taking the shoulders up to the ears, or maybe your face is rather tense between the eyebrows and the jaw. Find a breath and use the exhalation to allow all of that to fall away. Dropping the shoulders back and down. Feeling your tall seat and your spine extending all the way up from the mat. And as we move deeper into winter, into this inward spiral of ourselves, we learn so much about everything all the lessons that we have experienced over the past year. Now is the time to integrate and discern what needs to be taken with you on the next part of your journey, whatever that may be. Maybe you already have something specific in mind that you know you have moved past, something that you have learned over the past year. Maybe something that you have overcome. And just remind yourself of the power that we have, the power in obtaining knowledge, the power in being able to let go of things that have disturbed us and disturbed our inner fire. Know that you are on the path of least resistance, continually moving forward, no matter how it feels. So when you become ready, go ahead and draw the hands together at the heart and bow the head to yourself in deep reverence for the practice. Form an intention based on those lessons that you might have learned, anything that you may have overcome. Form an intention for the next part of your cycle. It might be just a little nugget of newness that has come in that you wish to propagate, you wish to increase the energy of. And if nothing comes to mind, that's okay too, no worries. And once you find your intention, you can allow the hands to fall away. On the count of 3, we'll inhale for Om, and just imagine that all of our vibrations as we chant together, mine and yours, the student, coming in to activate all of our chakras, all of our energetic centers. So imagine that is what is connecting us, creating oneness of our consciousness. On the count of 3, inhale for Om. 1, 2, 3, inhale. And you can draw the hands hands together at the heart, allow the vibrations to ring out, or maybe you're still singing. Maybe you take a few more moments to call in 2 more chants of Om, meeting that magic number 3 that we like to use in yoga quite frequently. And then when you feel ready, you can allow the hands to fall away and begin to make your way onto your back. And we won't be here too long, just a quick little unwind to begin. You're going to slide the heels back towards the glutes and bring the hands on the belly. And find 5 deep, long, slow rounds of breath here. Just letting the hands be pressed up by the motion of the belly, the breath inside, moving the body outside, and our awareness of it. Find a deep inhale through the nose. Feel the ribs expand. And then as you exhale, feel them contract. Maybe even the low back slightly reaches down towards the ground, and you bring the pelvis down as well, slightly tilting the pelvis up towards the face. Now this is a really subtle movement. If you want to just check me out on the video so you can see, I'll just go back and forth here for a moment. You can't really tell even. So just beginning to arrive at that pelvic tilt. Inhale, feel the low background down or up depending on just your body. And then as you exhale, feel your body release into the floor. Gently tilt the pelvis so that that mid-lower back region comes down to the earth. And then pause here, gently activating the inner thighs. And not holding the breath, but just holding this position. Maybe you take just a couple more tilts, or maybe it just feels really juicy to hang out here. And if you're still a little confused about where we're at, just imagine a little bit of hip thrusting action, but just with contact on the earth. And then when you become ready, you can release that, come to a neutral spine, feel the mat underneath the soles of your feet, and then take the hands out at the side body. On your next inhalation, ground the soles of the feet into the earth, navel tucks to spine, and lift the hips off the mat gently. We're not going far here, just gently squeezing inner thighs, now lowering back down. Inhale, hips lift up. Exhale, lower, and really feel into the glute activation, that space where your hamstring meets your glute. Inhale, one more. Inner thighs squeezing together. Feel the core, and then setting the hips gently back down. Going ahead and hugging the knees into the chest to neutralize. Maybe you rock from side to side here, if that feels good for the low back. Maybe you even take the hands to the knees and find some circles with both legs, maybe one leg even at a time. Then just explore yourself. I'll allow you for the next few breaths to just explore what feels good here. If it feels good to straighten the legs, to just play around with stretching. Maybe you take your attention to the toes and squeeze, and then open the toes out wide. Just one more round of breath wherever you are. Then as you exhale, go ahead and take your left sole of the foot down to the earth, and right ankle comes just behind left knee, finding this nice figure 4 shape. Inhale, drawing this left knee towards the face and reaching in between this little hole that you've created for the back of the left thigh. Pause here for 3 rounds of breath. Inhale to feel expansion. Feel things moving. And exhale to release. Maybe you even take that left knee in a little bit closer to the face, but of course be careful and mindful of your own limitations. And then as you find your next exhale, you can release that left sole of the foot back down to the earth. Take the hands out at the side body. Now you're just going to begin to take the legs from side to side like a windshield wiper, dropping the right knee down to the right side of the mat, and then taking the left foot over to the left side of the mat, or the left knee over to the left side of the mat, pardon me. And you're trying to maintain this open hip position here. So you've still got that figure four shape. You're just gently rocking from side to side and noticing what happens in the pelvis. Notice what happens in the low back. And then the next time you arrive back at center, hug your right knee into the chest, release the left leg out long. Or if that's really uncomfortable, you can just keep the knee bent. Find those hip circles, just taking the right knee over to right side. And then slowly releasing that foot back on down to the earth. Maybe taking one last knees to chest, Apanasana, for just a breath. Maybe you rock side to side. And then as you're ready, release the right foot on down to the mat. Take the left ankle just behind right knee and arms out at the side body. Gently press through the outer edge of that left knee. And notice what happens here as you find the figure four shape. Then when you're ready, slide the hands in between, reach for the back of the right thigh, and notice how this side might be very different from the other. Find those 3 deep breaths, beginning to open the back of the left leg, even getting into that IT band, left hip, inner thigh, and the groin. And then as you find your next exhale, you can release that right foot back on down to the ground. Hands can rest where comfortable at side body or on the belly. And then begin to find your little windshield wipers. Just drop in over to the right and then to the left. Got a little bit of a blockage here with the wall, but it's all good. Notice what comes up for you. Stay connected to your breath, and if you've found yourself disconnected and mind wandering, be gentle with yourself. Just gently guide your thoughts back to the practice. Ground yourself in the present moment, maybe reaching out for the earth, spreading the palms wide and pressing in. And then you can release when you're ready, bringing the knees to the chest one last time. And then beginning to slowly rock forward and back until you can rock yourself all the way up to a seat. Then you're going to take the legs out behind you, and we're going to begin to move rather quickly here because I want to get through some poses before we just lay on the ground the whole time. So go ahead and curl the toes under. Shine the elbow creases forward at the front of the mat, finding your table pose with knees directly below the hips. Begin to connect with your cat-cow tilts, inhaling to drop the belly, peel shoulders back, take the gaze up at the sky. Exhale, press into the palms, and then find that space between shoulder blades as you bring the hips up toward the face. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. You can move fast or slow here, whatever you'd like. Continue on your own. Feel into the breath. Notice what is happening. Maybe you close the eyes here. No need to look around. You know where you are. And then as you find your next exhale, enter that neutral spine, keeping toes curled. Inhale, take the knees off the mat, making the shins just parallel with the mat. Find that space between the shoulder blades that we're lifting up from, and navel to spine, core activation. 3 more rounds of breath. You got this. Invite the heat to come. That is what is going to purify in our practice, get our lymph going. Last breath. And exhale, take the hips up. Find your first downward dog. Begin to pedal out the knees, walking them out one at a time. Stretching heels back and down. Bringing the tailbone all the way to the sky. And maybe if you find that it's really difficult for you to be here, that is okay. Just take a longer stance. Walk your hands out. Bend the knees deeply. Stretch the belly back towards upper thighs. Feel your shoulders resting comfortably. We don't want any tension to be there. Elbow creases shine into the front of the mat. 3 rounds of falling out breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Big sigh. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Deep breath in. Everything that's no longer serving you leaves. Exhale, let go. Inhale, gaze comes up at the front of the mat and you roll yourself out to high plank. Exhale, press it back to downward dog, slightly rolling over the toes. Tailbone comes up. Inhale, high plank. Slightly rolling yourself out, maybe, or keeping a straight spine. Exhale, send the hips back up. Downward dog. Inhale, rolling it out. High plank. Exhale, send it back. Downward dog. Inhale, this time look forward. Exhale, step or a little hop to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arm sweep all the way up. Upward mountain, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, hands at heart. Pause here for just a moment. Checking in with your stance. Feet are hip width distance apart. Hands at the heart. Feel the blood pumping, beginning to move. And allow yourself to move with it. Align the breath with that fierceness of body. Next inhale, slowly take the hands up to the sky, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, fold, tailbone peels up. Folding all the way, chin tucks the chest. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, palms plant, step your feet back. Maybe you stay lifted here. Inhale, high plank. Maybe knees drop. Then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lowering the chest to the earth. Tops of the feet press in. Elbows hugging its side body. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And begin to find the breath once more, coming into a rhythm. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, right leg lifts off the mat. Exhale, right knee comes up towards your nose and step it forward. Drop your left knee to the mat, find low crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Maybe you exhale and gently sink into that left hip flexor. Right knee directly, whoop, I used the wall, almost fell over. Right knee directly above right ankle. Nice 90-degree angle. 3 rounds of breath. Gently squeezing inner thighs together to create stability. Now as you find your next exhale, left hand comes down beside left ankle. Inhale, right arm stretches up, finding a gentle twist. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you challenge yourself and take your left knee off the mat. Extra step for a challenge. Hands can come to heart and left elbow can come to outer edge of right knee. Finding a few rounds of breath wherever you are. Feeling that exhalation, press everything out from the space below the rib cage, massaging your digestive organs. Last breath. Exhale, release. Frame the right foot. Step it on back. Maybe you take a vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, rise. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it forward. Drop your right knee to the mat and inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, sink in. Find your 3 rounds of breath, find your rhythm. Drop the shoulders back, tension away from the face, and keep your energy lifting upwards. Heart open and free, ready to receive. Last breath out, release your right hand beside left ankle. Inhale, left arm opens up overhead, gentle twist. Option for challenges, come up onto right toes. Maybe hands come to the heart in a high crescent lunge, and right elbow comes to outer edge of left knee. 3 rounds of breath. Next exhale, frame the left foot, step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, hands at heart. Inhale, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot back. Drop your left knee back down. Inhale, low crescent. Exhale, fold. Planting hands back to frame the foot and pausing here for a moment. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you begin to create a rhythm. Inhaling to press back up into low crescent, and exhaling to gently straighten the right leg and fold slightly forward. Maybe toes are staying on the ground. I'd recommend gently peeling them up to the face. Inhale, arms sweep back up, low crescent. And exhale, fold gently, create stability in the inner thighs here. Forehead to right shin. Inhale, right knee bends once more. Arms sweep up. And exhale, begin to fold, straightening that right leg, coming into this rhythm. Last one, inhale. And exhale. This time folding, curling the toes over, or up towards the face. Then walking your hands over to the right side of the mat. Deep breath in. 2 more. At your own pace. Closing the eyes, finding a moment of stillness after that motion. Then as you walk your hands back over to the right leg, maybe you pause for a half split, just gently folding. Then inhale, rebend the right knee when you're ready. Curl left toes under and step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands at heart. Moving right into the next. Inhale, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms plant. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back, excuse me. And then find that low crescent once more. Inhale, right knee drops to the mat, arms rise. Exhale, fold, coming back to that sequence, that rhythm. Maybe finding that half split. Inhale, low crescent once more, left knee rebends, sink in. Exhale, left leg straightens, hands come down, folding and tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, left knee rebends, low crescent once more. Exhale, straighten the left leg, fold forward. Last one, inhale, plant the hands just beside left foot, and then step back this time. Drop your right knee down to the mat, spin your toes to the outer edge, and inhale, find side plank, Vashisthasana. 5 rounds of breath here. You can focus on staying here and just lengthening through the outer edge of that left foot, pressing in. Or you can challenge yourself and take the right knee off the mat, bringing both feet to touch. Just making sure right shoulder directly over right elbow and wrist. 3 rounds of breath, you got this. And then as you exhale, bring everything back down, take the knees to the outer edge of the mat. Find child's pose. Find your breath once more. as you find your next inhalation, begin to rise back through table pose. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, upward mountain, Urdhva Tadasana. And then this time, as you exhale, reach for opposite elbows and gently tip yourself over like a teapot, just pouring out on the right side, finding a side body stretch on the left. Inhale, come back up through center, and exhale, drop over to the other side. Inhale, back up. And exhale, drop over. Maybe you begin to create some more motion here. Taking full circles. Maintaining the forearms up overhead. And just noticing this range of motion of the upper body. It's kind of fun. And just interesting to discover the spine. And feel into that curvature in the low back. Last circle. Go ahead and find yourself back up in mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms plant. Step both feet back. Left knee drops to the mat this time and spins out to outer edge. Right foot comes parallel with the back of the mat. Inhale, side plank, Vashisthasana. And you can stay here, or you can take that challenge with both feet coming next to one another. Yogi choice, whatever you would like. Just a few more rounds of breath, find the rhythm. And it's personally yours, totally unique. The rhythm of your brain, your heart, your breath. And then as you find your next exhale, release everything down, take knees to the outer edge of the mat, and find child's pose. 5 rounds of breath here. Maybe you add in a little shoulder or tricep stretch by taking your fingertips, walking them towards the front of the mat, and then bending at the elbows, hands in Anjali Mudra, palms touching, and they come behind the head. Allow everything to relax down. Feel your glutes reaching back towards your heels, your heart coming down towards the mat on every exhale. And if it's not quite reaching there yet, that's okay, no worries. Just think about that space lowering, getting smaller as your exhalation leaves the body. Maybe you walk fingertips over to the right side, find another side body stretch. Deep breath in. And then exhaling, letting it all go, releasing the arms, maybe even releasing the head for a moment of rest. And then taking it over to the other side once you feel complete, walking the hands over to the left, maybe even walking those right fingertips up a bit more to find a deeper stretch. Then once you're comfortable, relaxing everything down. And you can slowly come back to center and then beginning to rise back to your table pose. And we'll find just a couple of hip openers before we move to a more relaxing portion. So go ahead, finding table pose, connecting back down with your mat and your breath. Extend your right leg back. And then as you exhale, take your right leg over just beside your right wrist. So you're going to be in an open hip position here. Coming into lizard pose, Bhutan Kristasana. Maybe you take your left toes and you walk that left knee back just a bit and find what's comfortable. Your hands should be resting on the ground directly below the shoulders. Maybe you sink into the left hip flexor a little bit more and allow right knee to open up to the outer edge of the mat. Maybe this isn't comfortable for you at all. We can find some adjustments. Maybe you curl left toes under and take that left knee off the mat, coming into a more active version of lizard pose. Maybe this still isn't enough for you, and you want to take the forearms on down to the mat. We'll remain here for about 5 rounds of breath. If you're down on the forearms, try to keep space between the shoulder blades so that we're not sinking the chest down and losing that connection. Keep everything activated. We're not in a relaxing yoga class. We're trying to keep some heat coming up. And you can keep that fire coming with your breath. Imagine it originating low in the belly, where the seat of our internal fire is. Option 2, continue to stay here, or if you would like, you can bring your left hand, or walk your hands back up if they were down on the mat, or forearms were down on the mat. Maybe you want to bend left knee, and allow right knee to come out to the outer edge of the mat. Finding this quadricep lunge twist. Just a few more rounds of breath here. Allowing yourself to be still and feeling deeply into that stillness. And when you feel ready, if you've caught the foot, slowly release. We don't want to slingshot it back. And then we're going to unwind from this very carefully. You're just going to bring both hands below the shoulders, begin to walk the hands back so that your right knee will just naturally straighten. And then as you straighten that right knee, keep this little open hip half split position. Frame your right leg and fold forward. Pausing here for just about 3 rounds of breath or so. If you're feeling any pain, any pinching in the low back, or anything unsavory, maybe you bend the right knee a bit more and come out of the pose a bit. As you find your next exhale, walk the hands back over to the inner part of the right leg and take that right leg back behind you. We're going to come to the other side for lizard pose. So you'll inhale, taking the left leg back. Exhale, left foot comes just beside the outer edge of the left hand. And you might already be noticing that this is a really different side for you. You might have some more tightness, and that's all right. So maybe you curl right toes under, walk the right knee back. Try not to collapse in the chest area. Keep nice strong arms pressing up and away from the earth. You could drop to forearms if you want. And allow yourself to breathe here in total stillness. We tend to store a lot away in the hips, a lot of emotions and things that we haven't quite yet had the courage or bravery to look into. Sometimes these poses can bring up some unsavory emotions that really aren't unsavory, but only because we've deemed them so. Everything that is a part of us is something to be valued, to be loved, even those things that we deem unsavory and habits that might not be totally serving us, but it's all a part of the whole. It's all a part of your path, and that is what makes it special. If you still want to stay down there in lizard, you can, or option to come up into that quadricep lunge twist, bending right knee, maybe even reaching back for that right foot. Just an option though, stay where you are if you're comfortable and that is working for you. No need to force yourself into positions that your body is not ready for. And as you find your next exhale, slowly release that right foot if you've caught it. Begin to walk the hands back, bringing the hips over that right knee. And then keeping this open hip half split, straightening left leg and framing the leg. Inhale, take your gaze forward and find space in the chest. And then as you exhale, fold all the way over that left leg. And as you find your next exhale, you can rebend that left knee, bring your hands back in, and then send the left leg back. Swing your legs over, just over to one side, whatever works best for you, and find your way to the booty. Find your way to the glutes. And then bring the soles of the feet to touch. Slide the heels back. Turn this way so you can see a little better. And you'll be in this little butterfly position, bound angle, Baddha Konasana. And give your feet a little massage here. Bring the thumbs to the arches. And just send yourself some love. We have a lot of acupressure points in the feet that correlate with a lot of organs and parts of the body. So by just sending a little extra attention here, we might be creating some more circulation and for emotion to flood more thoroughly through the body and to exit the body as well. And once you've had enough of that, you can go ahead and begin to fold forward, just dropping the chest down towards the earth. If you've begun to round, I would recommend maybe just pausing and allowing yourself to sit in the fold. We want our backs to be flat, but we don't want to force anything. So maybe you come back up a little bit just to find that flat back. And then as you exhale, you can actually use your elbows as well to gently press down on the calves. But like I said, be mindful. If you've begun to round, just go ahead and stop and pause in stillness. And when you're ready, slowly begin to rise, taking extra care with yourself, noticing each movement of even just a finger. And then with that same care, move slowly to a reclined position on your mat. Maybe you want to find knees to chest once you arrive. Apanasana. Just one more time. Option to maybe find some reclined twist, dropping knees off to the right. Maybe even right hand comes to outer edge of the left knee. Just an option though, if you're feeling really good in Apanasana, go ahead and stay there. And if this isn't enough of a twist for you, you can go ahead and lift the knees back and away from the earth and cross your left leg over your right, then drop the knees down. Just make sure that your sacrum is stable, both hips stacked over one another. And breathe deeply into the twist. Imagine everything squeezing out of the digestive organs, regenerating. Also, maybe you feel some sensation in the outer left hip. And slowly begin to lift the legs back up. And then finding reclined twist on the other side. Just dropping knees over to the left. Maybe you cross right leg over left if that worked really well for you before. Find 3 rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, begin to unwind very slowly, lifting legs back up to center, and then extending the legs out long and finding your Shavasana, whatever that might look like for you. If this is really uncomfortable, you can always stuff a blanket or a pillow just underneath the knees. You can stuff a pillow underneath the upper back if you'd like to find a little bit of more chest opening. You all stay down there. I'm just going to sit up so you can hear me a little bit better as I lead you through some meditation. So find your breath once more. Notice the difference of sitting here with it in total stillness. How the mind already wants to wander away from the practice and wander into responsibilities, past happenings. But any time that our mind wanders to the future or the past, we are stealing from ourselves the creative energy that is brought up in the present moment, the fiery spark of being here now. Anytime our attention goes elsewhere into the past and the future, analyzing things and creating stories about existence, we are taking away from ourselves that creative energy of being in the present moment. You're sending your energy somewhere else. So with that said, allow yourself to let go of thoughts, and if your mind starts to wander, just gently and carefully draw yourself back to the practice. There's nothing that you have to do here. There's nothing that you have to be, no productivity to be had. There is value of yourself just by existing. There is value in yourself just by being here, breathing with your body, tuning in to all that is and all that has created us. We are so much greater than the happenings around us. This deep and dense physical existence. And begin to invite more lightness into the body, taking a little scan all the way from the toes up to the crown of the head, placing your attention individually on each toe, and the traveling of the path up through the legs, and the pelvis, the torso, reaching out into each fingertip, and then back up all the way to the crown of the head. Allow everything to relax. Drop your shoulders back and down. Feel the weight of the back of your head coming down into the earth. Every breath, the boundaries of our body seem to dissipate. You can feel the energy around you, the air sitting on top of your belly, the space between each finger that is your own lingering energy. And then you're welcome to continue to stay there in meditation if you're feeling comfortable. Or you can begin to rise and go about your day, now having given yourself the time to practice being mindful, to practice being aware and conscious of all of your surroundings, and to just not take this world too seriously. Stay grounded and stay peaceful. Thank yourself in deep reverence for being here. I thank you for being here with me as well. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Namaste.